What about the racial disparity in our city schools?
Ooh.
That's
Let's just start with a light one here.
Yeah, just a light and easy one. Light and easy.
Good, yeah.
I'll just jump in and talk about that. I mean, definitely there is a clear racial disparity in public schools, for sure, in Cincinnati. And I don't know how we compare to other cities, but, public school for me is one of the really, really hard things to talk about. Because I do think that there are multiple factors that make schools successful. But as I think about the racial disparity in the schools, I think it's a combination of two things. I mean, we talked about this a lot. I think the challenge in our schools is we can't expect schools to replace or supersede what family is meant to do. And that's a real challenge.
Yeah, and let me say this.
I'm
glad Chuck's getting applauded. I'm glad it's applauded. But here, I think even though it makes for a fun experience to be reacting and applauding, I'm a little concerned if we do that going on.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say some stuff that some of you are going to really want to applaud, and others you're not. And Chuck's going to do the same thing, and we don't want this
You'll probably say more things
I hope
don't
so.
want to applaud at. So.
I hope so. That's right. We
No.
don't want this Republican Democrat State of the Union where you got two sides of the aisle.
Completely agree.
So unless you're sure that everyone's going to clap, that's okay. But what happens? That kind of shuts down the learning.
Yeah.
And then everyone around you is going to, oh, you're that kind of person. So
yeah. No, I mean,
let's go back here.
The other piece that I would say to that, though, is this is where I think the conversation is different when you're a follower of Jesus. So what kids in the city are my kids? All of them should be my kids. Yeah. And so I think that impacts how I think about it.
I think this is, for me, this is one of the things that my bells just started going off, and I started understanding things. None of us in here had anything to do with slavery. None of us in here voted on it. None of us in here were pro it. I'm sure we all in here, I'm sure all speaking to white people, I'm sure all of us white people would say, oh no, if I was back then, I would have absolutely been against it. Yeah. I think that we none of us were, I'm just saying, because the trajectory of culture, that's just where the culture was, So it's easy to say I was against that now when it's obviously no one likes it now. Back in the day, who knows where we would have been. But I think that we have to wrestle with the fact that was only 140 years ago. That's two grandmothers. That's two grannies knitting. And there's stuff in your family of origin that's been in there for 4 generations still not out. Gossiping, alcohol, this or that. And the African family, before they were African American, African family coming over to slave was ripped to shreds. There wasn't a family unit. There was an Africa come over, ripped to shreds, put all over every place. And so what is it? Is it economic disparity that has our inner city schools in a hard way? Is it that there's no family structure? There's fewer healthy family structures in the black community than the white community. And statistics are very, very clear. If you have a mom and a dad, you're going to be better off financially. That's just fact. You're going to be better off. So is it racism that has caused this? Is causing this in our inner city schools? Yeah. I don't know. I'm not ready to go there. I'm definitely ready to say, though, our racist history is bringing people to pain.
The systems and structures are broken.
Would you push on anything I said there? Would you disagree with that?
I wouldn't disagree. I would just go further and say the systems and structures are broken. And that's why we have things like failing public schools that tend to have more brown children in them. It's not by accident that they're that way when you come out of a broken system. And so we just need to recognize that and wrestle through that.